Hello there, welcome back to Paul's Racing Channel and to the Ultimate Racing League. So after seems an eternity, doesn't it, since we last did some racing here on this channel, some proper racing that is, we are back with our new season. First of all, I want to just wish everybody a happy new year, and hopefully you all had a great festive break. I know the drivers, they should be refreshed, let's put it that way. Maybe some of them won't be, but fairly long break that was. So, should all be rock and rolling and ready to go here for this new championship. So this is, of course, round one, and with a few little changes to how things are working out this time around. And so let's just go through them now. So basically, we've still got 10 rounds, 2 races this time though in each round, and these are lap races as opposed to timed races. We've still got teammates and we've still got teams as well. So in other words, still got 2 teammates per league. And we've now got the 5 leagues, so we've got 10 teammates in total. Each team having their own livery which they will run in their respective league. Now I'm covering League One, so this is the League One Championship here, and the League One Championship is the Porsche Cup, or based on the Porsche Cup series. So it's going to be Porsche all the way through here on this championship from round 1 to 10. Now they're all, as I say, 2 races on each round, except for the final round 10, which will be a endurance race, so one longer race. So that's really how it is in regards to that. Now, in regards to tyre regulations, race 1 will be, you're allowed to have soft any compound really, but I would imagine most people or most drivers will go with the softs from start to finish. Then race 2 is only hards and mediums allowed. And you have to run the hard tyre for a minimum of 2 laps. So as long as that's done, you will be fine. So I think that's about it. So I think you probably know now, just by seeing this vision that you're seeing on the screen, where we are, and the fact that it says Brands Hatch Grand Prix Circuit down there on the left, which is a bit of a giveaway. We are at Brands Hatch. We're in the UK, and this is a great course. I think most drivers really do like this one, if I'm honest. There might be one or two who's not that they're not that fancy that much, but most drivers do know it quite well. And they're coming out of the final corner there. Here they are, rolling start again, by the way, on here. So I think that's about it. I don't think I've missed anything else. If I have, then I'll remember it. Then I will obviously mention it during the race. But I think that's about it in terms of what we're doing. So yeah, round 1, season 1 here at the Ultimate Racing League. So I think let's get on with this grid then. So after qualification, this is how it stands. We have Motorstorm Hero in pole position, who has come up from League 2. We know Motorstorm Hero obviously from our last outings here on the videos where I was covering League 2, funny enough, and here we are again. I'm covering League 1 and these boys are in there again. So we've got Motorstorm Hero heading it up at the front there in the Red Bull Porsche, and we've got Dyson, another one who's joined us from League 2 there in the NASCAR livery Porsche. Inca Holmes, or Inky, in 3rd. James Stephen in 4th. Myself, Paul, in 5th. Seamus in 6th. Brider Mechanic in 7th. Love Rocket Rods in 8th. Hodgie in 9th. Rossi in 10th. Slowpoke in 11th. Brian Moncani 12th. Sideways George in 13th. Brownie in 14th. And Stealth in 15th. So almost a full grid here for round 1, which is absolutely fantastic. Just a quick one. The liveries are based on real life championships actually. So there's going to be a mix of the types of things like the British Touring Car Championship, the Porsche Cup, NASCAR, V8 supercars. So the liveries, there's going to be a mix of all sorts of different real life championships. So they are real liveries that are on these cars. So let me, I think that's it with my waffle. Let's get on with this race. 19 laps around this clockwise Brands Hatch circuit, and here we go. Well, we know all about Motorstorm Hero and Dyson, don't we, really, from last time out. I wouldn't be surprised if it's these two that will be fighting up the top end of this championship. Once again, they're certainly going to know each other, aren't they? Being very close last time out. James Stephen also another one who will be up there battling it out, I'm sure. Zinke has a first have a little look at Dyson up at Druids. He didn't work there. Paul in fifth, and who's that going? Seamus going out wide. Brian the Mechanic taking that move and making the pass. Up to sixth place goes Brian Mechanic. So Seamus loses back. Oh, and Bry's got an off, and that's not a good start for Bry. Back to 15th he goes. Let's have a quick look and see what happened there. Back end, I think. Was it the curb? Yeah, too much curb. Way too much curb there. Let's go on board with Bry then. So sixth place here. Okay, at this point, he uses all this curve which can, but he took a bit too much of it and the grass, and bang, face plant into the tyre wall. And wait for everybody to go past, and back on it he goes. So not a great start for Brian, unfortunate there. So Motorstorm Hero and Dyson just putting a little gap away from Inky and James. James all over the back of Inky now. So kind of splitting up a little bit into two doubles there. Oh, a little bit of too much grass there on Kirby for Inky. James surely won't go through there. That's a difficult place to pass, although James is almost giving Inky the hurry up there. Just a little nudge on the back bumper. All still just staying with him there in fifth place, and nothing's changed in terms of positions in the top five. James still all over the back. Will he have a go here at Paddock Hill Bend? I think he might. Here he goes, pulls out up the inside. Doesn't get this done. I think he's going to do it. He didn't, you know. And he wasn't past him. Paul nearly went wide into the gravel in the background there, but managed to hold on. And James, oh, and that was was there a little tap there? Excuse me, I have got a cough. You'll have to bear with me on that. Let's just have a quick look at that again. I think just a little tab up there up by James. It's the rear quarter of Inky, but he does wait back off, and actually it brings everybody else into play. So now got Seamus and Love Rocket Rods, who's now gone to themselves onto the back of this little line of cars now. Oh, now Seamus has gone off. Easily done there. You can just go a little bit wide. If you're not careful going into this left-hander, if you go a little bit wide, too much out to the far, to the right, it was a bit run-off, but he's lucky that, yeah, he did well. He just lost the one spot. He's going to allow Rossi to get a little bit closer. Hodgie's behind him as well, so the two teammates, Rossi and Hodgie, 8th and 9th place. In Slowpoke in 10th. Sideways George there in 11th. With Stealth, who's made up some spots there already, isn't he? 12th from the back of the pack there, Stealth, for 15th to 12th. After 2 laps, that's pretty good going from our Scotsman. So 12th he is, and Brian 13th. It's obviously gone backwards. Brownie 14th, and Brian the Mechanic, well, we know why he's down there in 15th, don't we? And look at this lead now from Motorstorm. He's got away from Dyson. He's really pulled the pin, hasn't he, already? Only into lap 3. Fastest lap as well, 1:23.0. So almost into the 22s from Motorstorm. So it's maybe a little mistake from Dyson, perhaps. Look at the background here as we see James again attacking Inky, same place, but this time a little cleaner. He just gets a little bit of a nudge out there, but it was clean move through there. The door was open from Inky, and James made it play and got himself up to 3rd. Now, what can he do about chasing down Motorstorm Hero and Dyson? That's his aim. Inky 4th. Still in 5th. Love Rocket up to 6th now. Well, that was because of Seamus going wide, wasn't it? So Love Rocket has got himself up to 6th place. Dyson's teammate there. Running over the curves, which you can do. Seamus, Rossi, Hodgie, Slowpoke. Take a look at that inside curb, which gives you a bit of an advantage on the exit, saves you touching that grass. A little bit careful on the exit there though, don't want to take too much of that grass. But Slowpoke looks like he's just getting onto the back of Hodgie, coming up to Paddock Bend for what will be the 4th time. A little bit too far back to make a move this lap. Let's see if Dyson's caught up with our leader Motorstorm. No, he hasn't really, but I actually don't think, there might be a small mistake maybe from Dyson, but I actually think his Motorstorm Hero has just hold the pin here. I think he's gone, at least for now. I mean, obviously a long way to go. Maybe Dyson's playing the long game and just thinking, you know what, I'm going to save a bit of tyre here, and so you can clear off Motorstorm, and hopefully near the end of the race I'll have a little bit more tyre to play with you. James, half a second. Oh, and that was probably for cutting that inside curb. Is one of the places you can pick up a penalty, so that will allow Inky to get 3rd back if Inky can stay where he is. He is all over the back of James here. Paul's still there in 5th, so he's not going anywhere either. Love Rocket Rods not far behind in 6th place. A lot of inside curve from Inky. Now, does he have a guy up here? No, he's going to sit behind James at this point. He can see the penalty, so he's thinking, well, you know, unless he's holding him up, you might as well stay behind him because you should get that place anyway, once he does have to take that off. Paul under pressure now from Love Rocket Rods. Maybe Paul made a little mistake somewhere, because Rocket Rod is it's not very far behind at all. It's only a couple of tenths, I would have said. Anyway, 2 or 3 tenths there between them two. Paul runs it onto the grass. Dirty tyres now coming through this next section. Got to be a bit careful. Looks like he's okay though. Seamus also. Looks like he's coming back into it. 7th. The Martini livery. I think he's got that done on James, and that was that penalty, wasn't it? Let's just have a look. Just to double check, but it will be, because the penalty zone's just here. Yeah, James does move over. And that's where Inky goes up the inside. And a good pass into clearways. And along the start and finish. So up to 3rd place goes Inky, but I'm sure James will be fighting straight back. Will it be straight back? I mean, literally straight back. Is it going to be not here? No, but maybe up here at Druids. This is where he's... yeah, Inky was a little bit more wise to that time. He thought, I'm going to defend because of what happened previously. James getting up there before. So Inky now is going to defend. What he's doing here, he's just slowing it down a little bit, allowing everybody else to now join in, which I guess what he's trying to achieve is to get everybody to start fighting with each other, which may allow him, if he can stay where he is ahead of these lot, to just kind of clear off. But of course it does rely on the others to stay where they are too, or at least start to battle. But top 6 here, or from 3rd to 6th I should say, very close. Seamus just off of them in 7th. Here he is. It's Rossi. Is he still ahead of his teammate? He is. It's a great car, actually. I didn't realise it was grey on one side and black on the other. It's great livery. Nice looking livery, that one. Hodgie's still in 9th. Slowpoke still can't quite manage to get past Hodgie ahead of him. So in 10th place still is Slowpoke. Stealth in 11th. But he's under pressure from Brian. It looks like Brian's eyeing him up here. Are they teammates? Doesn't look like teammates, actually. Is it Liquid Moly? Let's have a look. Yes, it is. So Brian, I would imagine, would have gone for that Paddock bend had it not been his teammate who was ahead of him. Oh, and Stealth's had a moment. What happened there? Did he just outbrake himself? Let's have a quick look. I think he did. So he's just ahead of Brian at this point. Oh, yes, he did outbrake himself. Back end came round and lucky not to collide with his teammate there. So loses that spot. But at least the teammates didn't touch. So down to 12th he goes. Brian the mechanic. He's made up a couple of spots from his off, hasn't he? So at this point is where he went off. Around 14th. Sideways Jules back down there in 15th now. So Sideways doing everything he can to keep with Brownie ahead of him. Dyson's now in the lead, so where did that take place? So he was way behind, wasn't he? So where did that take place? I've missed that. Obviously was watching a lot of the other stuff that was going on. Well, I'm not sure. Motorstorm Hero obviously has had a moment, a big moment somewhere, because he was ahead of Dyson by some. Now Dyson's got a massive lead. Let's have a look. There's no obvious signs of damage, although it's probably reset by now, but it must have been a mistake. Must have been. Either that or a combination of a couple of penalties, maybe. I don't know, I'm guessing here, but I think it was a running off somewhere. It looks too much of a big gap to have been, say, a half a second penalty, for instance. It's a huge gap now that Dyson's got. I'm not sure the Motorstorm Hero, what are we on, 7 laps out of 19? Just about to start lap 8, but I'm not sure that even Motorstorm can get back on that. Maybe, that's still a long way to go, of course, but we'll see. So second anyway for Motorstorm. Inky still remains in 3rd. James picks up another penalty. He's only picking up a few penalties here in race 1, isn't he, James? I think that was the same place. I think he actually picked up the penalties at exactly the same spot. Just at that inside, cutting that inside corner too much. Up through Dingledale. Paul still 5th, so things changed in terms of where he started and where he is now. So 5th place start and still in 5th after 8 laps. Love Rocket Rods. He hasn't made any gain on Paul really either, so he's still in 6th place. The famous 69. Oh, and James is off. That's what happened there, James. Lucky that he didn't collide with Paul when he came back on. Took a lot of curb there in the back end and then completely twisted him round. Oh, right in front of Paul. Paul didn't know where to go. It's quite good reactions actually. Round the outside goes Paul. Now that's just held up Love Rocket Rods for a second. Up the inside. James did keep out of the way. But that did allow Paul just to get a slight gap to himself and Love Rocket Rods. That does mean though that James has fallen back down to 6th place. Paul up to 4th now. Love Rocket to 5th. Seamus still in 7th. Behind his teammate now. But of course a bit closer because of the half a second that James has just had to take off. Seamus flirting with that inside grass. Rossi 8th. So no change here really. Hodgie in 9th, so the two teammates just kind of following each other around here at the moment in race 1. 10th for Brian, Stealth in 11th. Brian the Mechanic, 12th place. Don't take too much, Brian. We know what happened last time. Oh, and there's the other Brian Moncani. So we've got Brian the Mechanic and Brian Moncani, but Brian Moncani has gone off and he's done the Brian the Mechanic move. Let's have a look here. I bet it's an identical up the too much grass. Yeah, exactly the same move, but more violent hit on the barriers there. So that was a big hit. It's going to be some serious damage at the rear of that car, which will reset eventually, but fortunately for him, he's got no one really that close behind, so he loses that one place to Brian the Mechanic, but it'll take him a bit of time to get the rear of that car sorted. Dyson, Motorstorm still first and second, and well, Motorstorm is catching, taking him a couple of laps, in fact, and he is almost back on the back of Dyson into Druids. He does hold that fastest lap as well, Motorstorm Hero, a 1:22.6, which was always going to come because he was first laps was 1:23.0, so he was always going to get into the 1:22. So that's a quick time of 1:22.6. Wonder if anyone's going to beat that there today. So sure, Dyson kicked up a lot of dirt there. Now that might have allowed a little bit more, I should say a little less space between himself and Motorstorm as he kicks up the dust. But they've now got a pretty big gap back then to Inky in third, who is kind of on his own a little bit now. He's got away from Paul and Love Rocket Rods. But whether he can actually do anything and get onto the back of Motorstorm and Dyson, I'm not so sure. I don't know at this stage. Quick look at our leaders again, because Motorstorm is getting closer. I'm going to keep a close eye on that in case it changes. We're not with them. Paul fourth, Love Rocket Rods fifth, and these two have been pretty much this close all the way round, haven't they, since start, really. Nothing has really changed in terms of that distance. It's maybe the biggest gap that Paul's had over Love Rocket Rods since the start of the race, but even so, still not that, but still pretty close. So these two have been duking it out. James to sixth now, back to sixth, trying everything he can to get a few more places. Running out of laps here for James. Seamus doing well there in seventh. He'll try and just follow his teammate as best he can, try and keep with him, and maybe his teammate can kind of pull him up towards the rest as well. Oh, there's a yellow flag. Now, what's the yellow flag for? Who's gone off? Or is it an old flag? Or was it Inky? It must have been Inky. Let's have a look, because James has got past. It's Inky's third. Yeah, there he goes. Bang! That allows Paul actually to third. Love Rocket fourth. James will get fifth up the inside. Inky done well to stay out of the way there, considering he was left stranded in the centre of the track as he came back on. But that was a big off from Inky, but he did lose 3 places there. Back to sixth he goes. What he's done, of course, is allow Paul to get himself up to third. Rocket fourth. Just take a swig of drink. Didn't mean to do that. That takes me for sitting on the button. So Love Rocket fourth, then James in fifth place. Inky. Got to try and get past James again now. Got to try and do it all again. Seamus seventh, so it's now Inky splitting the 2 teammates. He's pushing it hard, he's drifting it around these corners. Zinke, got to be a little bit careful. This car don't like the curbs and takes a lot of the sand there, but the car just seemed to surf across that. Pretty lucky there not to, pretty lucky to get away with that one, but he is certainly pushing because on the back of James already is Zinke. So obviously after that off, his tyres are clean again, judging by this sort of pace. Let's just check our leaders because I did say I'd go back, and well, it is still Dyson and it is in first with Motorstorm second, but that gap has reduced significantly, and looks like Motorstorm Hero is going to line something up shortly as we come into the closing stages of this first race. Storm pushing hard. See the cars now coming through clearways. See there in 8th, looks like he's just, just got away from his teammate. There's a big gap back now to his teammates. I'm not too sure if something happened to him because that's a big gap. Hodgie was closer to his teammate than he is now, so something's happened there. He's now under pressure from Bright, the mechanic in 10th. It's driving a great race, considering he went off lap 1. He was at the back of the field by some way. He's already up to 10th with still with what, 5-6 laps to go. And closing in on Hodgie as well, so could get himself into that top 10 for the end of the race. Stealth. Again, he started from the back, didn't he? So to get himself to 11th at this stage is good going for Stealth. Sideways George, he was at the back as well, so he's made up some spots, and actually Slowpoke was just going to bounce a little bit here. I'm not sure, has he got a problem, Slowpoke, or because now he's got Brownie right up him as well, so I'm not too sure if there is an issue with Slowpoke. Certainly having a look at Sideways George here, isn't he? Oh, and there's a little bit of a touch there, was there? Brian Moncani through the middle of both Brownie and Slowpoke, and Slowpoke slowed right down. Slowed down to allow, I think because he knew he touched Sideways, he's obviously slowed down, but unfortunately by doing so he's allowed the other cars to get past him. He's dropped into the back of the field, but he did the right thing. Just tagged the back of his car. There was no, I don't think he actually attempted to pass that. I just think he just overshot the braking zone a little bit there for Slowpoke, so a bit unfortunate there. Brian Moncani got through, and so did Brownie. So 13th and 14th place, Sideways in 12th. It didn't really affect Sideways, did it really? In fact, it probably helped him a little bit, still in 12th. Back to our leaders, and this is, well, we know what's going to happen here. This is going to go right to the end. It's going to be like this between these two. That is for sure. They've got a massive lead. So definitely going to be these two on the top 2 steps. Not sure what order yet. So they're not going to be threatened by anybody else Not at this stage anyway, unless something disastrous happens. But a massive gap back to, and they're coming through Druids. Paul in third's only coming over the start finish line now, so that's got to be a 17, 18 second lead at least. Paul still in third, Love Rocket in fourth, and then this battle behind us, James and Inky's fighting it again. I think Inky, we had a look at that, didn't he? James has left it a little gap open for him. They do like to attack at that stage, at that point, don't they? These two have been having fisticuffs there. Race long, and James, when he's pushed it, and he also falls foul to the grass and curb in there. There's two drivers that have gone off doing exactly the same thing, so he's under pressure from Inky, wasn't he, at this point? It's okay here, and then on the back, bang, power on the grass, and that's another big hit. So front damage for James, and he might lose place now to Rossi as well, while he gets himself back up to full speed. So there is Rossi in 8th. James is just going to be ahead of him, and he's going to get him along this back straight, surely. He's Rossi, because he's going to have that momentum. James still with that damage. So will he have a go down here? Well, he thought about it, but then backed off. Do need to be right up the side of the car if you're going to make that move. And there was a little bit of a tag there, but it's okay. So still 8th for Rossi. James in 7th, so James frustrated, just trying to get back on it, isn't he? But quite working at the moment. The Storm Hero, every lap is just getting a little bit closer. And that could be it. That could be the moment. I mean, we've still got 2.5 laps to go, but that could be the moment that allows Dyson just that little gap to take victory. Let's have a look. I think what happened there was Motorstorm Hero just took a little bit too much of the exit curb here. And there's a little twitch actually, which actually threw him onto the grass. Let's have another look on board this time though. He's chasing down Dyson. And there's that twitch. That was a violent twitch as well. Probably could have been a lot worse, so he did well to control it. But you can see the distance now between himself and Dyson as Dyson goes out the right-hander. Dyson, I see back marker was a sideways George, so sideways will be getting the blue flag shown, and Motorstorm's now got half a second, and he has a moment as well. That's track limits obviously, but it's going to have it. Sideways does the right thing, pulls right over to the right hand side, so that is surely that then, coming into the penultimate lap. Motorstorm Hero can really do to try and get as close as he can to Dyson now before the penalty, just to avoid that gap being even bigger by the time he does lose it. But I think that's done that, and I think that's be enough for Dyson to take victory here in race 1. That 46 NASCAR livery Porsche. Still Motorstorm Hero with that 122.6 that hasn't been touched since he done that. But Dyson doesn't look like he's going to be making any mistakes. Motorstorm on the other hand, he's pushing really hard. And he's going to be vulnerable to mistakes, and there's another one, but and there's a second this, so he gets another half a second added on to the half that he had. That's a second now, so that is definitely that. Removes it there, and coming into the final lap now. Dyson will have enough of an advantage to take victory. So Motorstorm will remain in second. Paul still heading up in third, still with Love Rocket Rods closing in behind. These two have been together like this for pretty much the whole of the race. I think Paul might just have enough to hold on to that third place as well. Looking at that gap, but there's a lap to go. Tyres are becoming more worn. Fatigue is setting in with the drivers, and as we've seen, the slightest touch of a curb, a bit of grass or anything, the opposition, if you're this close anyway to one of your opponents, doesn't mean anything. Love Rocket does look like he's catching Paul actually. The gap seems to be reducing. Ricky fifth, Seamus sixth place, James in seventh, Rossi eighth, Hodgie ninth. It's all pretty much the same back here as what it has been. But we'll go back to our leaders, I think, and just see how these are looking as they come round the final corner. It will be Dyson, we know, flashing the lights. Congratulations, race one, round one, victory to Dyson. Motorstorm Hero in the end comes in second place. Here's our third and fourth place, and it looks like Paul is just about going to hang on to take that third and final spot on the podium from Love Rocket Rods. Paul does take it ahead of Rodders in fourth, Inky in fifth place, Seamus in sixth, well done to him. James have to settle for seventh. An eventful race for James. Rossi with a good eighth place, James with penalties and incidents with grass, etc. So did well to actually finish in seventh. Hodgie in ninth, well done to him. Brian the Mechanic will come in 10th, head of Stealth in 11th. Ryan Moncani 12th, well, he won't be now because as we come to him, big off, and he could end up being in the back of that rate. So we watch Slowpoke, who has just made that position up because of that. Will come in 12th place. At the final corner and over the line. 12th for him. Brian did actually get it going and will come in 13th. So just lost that one place in the end. Brownie in 14th. Sideways George retired in the end and took that 15th place. So there's your race one. Hope you enjoyed that. It was a cracking race actually, and that's what we've got to look forward to for the remaining 9 rounds of this championship. So well, that's it for round one, race one. Join me again for race 2 shortly, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.